Hi and welcome everyone. Today we're going to be going over Microsoft Access 2016 and we're going to be going over the basics like defining field names, changing data types, and editing field names. So let's go ahead and get started. Right here I see I have Microsoft Access down here in my taskbar. I'm going to click that to open up Access. You could check to see if you have access on your home computer by pressing the Windows key and typing in Access, and you'll see it'll appear there. All right, but anyway, I have access right here, and so I'm just going to start a blank desktop database just to show you what this looks like. I click there. It's going to ask me for a file name, and so I'm going to do inventory on this one and show you what it would look like if I was maybe doing an item inventory. And then it'll have the folder icon right here, which is where we're going to choose the destination. On this one, I'm just going to choose the desktop, and I'll call it inventory. So there we go. We click OK, we click create, and it brings us to this screen. All right, now this screen, first thing you have to notice is that Microsoft Access will automatically create a table on its own. So you have this table right here, it's called Table 1 at this point, and that's how it's created. So you'll notice that an automatic field is inputted first called ID, and then you have an option right here that says click to add. So I'm going to click on that to add in any new fields that I want to have currently on my database. So if I click on click to add, I could then click between any of these menus to basically add that type of field to my database. So right here I'm going to click on short text because I want to put the actual name of the item in this database. So I click short text. The item names are going to be made up of text, so short text would be appropriate for this one. I type in the word item, I press tab to finalize it, and it opens up the next field menu. On this one, I want to put in the category of the item. So this will again be written out in text, so I should use short text. So as soon as I click on short text, we see that it is highlighted over here, and then I could just start to type in the name of the field, which in this case is category. Next, I hit tab to finalize that, and again we see that the click to add menu automatically populates. So I could add in another field. On this one I'm going to add in the campus. So campus is going to be made up of short text as well. So I'm going to click on short text right there, and I'm going to type in the field name, which is campus. Next I'm going to press tab to finalize that, and I'm going to type in the storage location. This one will also use short text. So you see in this particular database, you're going to mostly be using short text. Okay, so it'll depend on what your field names are, will be how you select from this menu here. So I'm going to click on short text. Again, we see it highlighted right here, the new field that was just created, and I'll type in storage location. Okay, as soon as I type in storage location, I press tab. We see that it doesn't fit right now, but we could change those settings later, just like we would in Microsoft Excel. All right, so right here, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to look through here, and on this one, I want it to, I'm going to put a price of the item in there. So if I was putting a price, I'd probably want it to be related to currency, which is right here. So I'm going to click on currency. You'll notice that, again, field 1 populates right here where I could type in the field name, which is price, but this time we notice that right here it populates a $ with zeros right after it. So depending on what currency you're using, you should see a default of 0 right here for that currency. I press tab and it automatically populates right there, and we see the click to add menu is now here. And finally, I said it was an inventory database, so I'm going to put in the quantity in stock, which will deal with a number, right? So if we have 15 items in stock, number would be the most appropriate one. So I click right there on number. We see again the highlighted menu appears right here, and this time I'm going to type in quantity in stock, and then I'll press tab. Now we notice that 0 automatically populated below quantity in stock, so that looks good, and then it automatically populates this next menu. Now if I don't want any more fields, like in this case I do not necessarily want any more fields, I could just click away and it's not going to add in the field anymore. So now what I want to do is, we mentioned earlier on this ID menu, or this ID field is right over here. Let's say I wanted to change the name of this ID to item ID. Well, if I ever want to change anything, I would just click on the actual word ID right here, and to change the name of it, you double click it, and then you'll notice that it'll be highlighted, and I could type in item ID and press tab. Now, one thing that you want to make sure is that item ID, that was our first populated one. If you remember, we didn't actually change the data type. It was already preset on there. So if you ever want to change the data type, you just have to click on that actual field so that it's highlighted, and then it'll populate the Table Tools Fields tab. And then inside the formatting group, you could actually see the data type right here. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and change that data type. If it's an item ID, let's say that in this case, it's item ID. Let's say I want to base it off of short text. So right here, I can base it off of short text. Now that ID field will expect short text to be within all of the records that are in this field of the database. So there we go. So that's how we set up our fields in Microsoft Access. I hope that that helps you out when you're setting up and editing your fields and changing the names in your fields. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then I also have video tutorials on other Access functions and things like that, as well as Excel and Microsoft Word. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.